Okay, well, let's get in another voice now. Gautam Sinha, the fund manager at Motilal Oswal, joins in. Gautam, hi, good afternoon. Happy New Year to you and everyone in your team at Motilal Oswal.
Happy New Year to you all too.
Happy New Year. The start of the new year, has thrown up a lot of questions about asset allocation, sectoral allocation, and going through your funds, you have been invested in some sectors that have done extremely well up until now. Case in point, sectors like oil marketing companies. What's the sense you're getting about how the sectoral allocation should be made in the first half of 2017?
I think, Sonia, we are more or less sticking with our allocation because for the portfolio, we are seeing around 20% earnings growth. Of course, valuations are under pressure because of FI selling, but that is something which is very external. We can't do much about. As long as our core portfolio earnings growth is good, we are happy sticking with the choices that we have made. Some of them, of course, have lower growth, but like OMCs you mentioned, but there the PE ratings potential is still there. So a mix of PE rating and earnings growth is what we are looking at for the entire portfolio, but not too many changes from the demonetization perspective or other such near-term perspectives, because we believe that these are transient events and it's very difficult to build a portfolio around such transient events.
Gautam, hi, good afternoon. You have a lot of auto stocks in your portfolio, the names like Eicher, Maruti. In particular here, because we have seen divergent trends. Eicher, for example, and Maruti also has been strong, but we have seen weakness in TVS and Hero MotoCorp. Your thoughts on that?
So actually, coincidence or we're just thankful that the names that we had suffered the least, and this was a hypothesis we had even when the demonetization event happened, that our stocks are relatively safer. And we could buy them cheaper too, because these stocks corrected 20-30% post demon and have bounced back a little since then. But I think, generally auto sector has been impacted, but things are improving now. As we speak, things are improving, and again, as I said, most of the impact is transient, and next quarter things would be better for the auto sector in general.
Okay, well, in about less than 10 days from now, we'll be talking about earnings season, Gautam. This time around, how are you positioned as far as Q3 earnings are concerned, and where do you see the maximum amount of damage because of demonetization?
I think surely in more rural-facing sectors, consumption sectors which are more rural-facing, and more real estate-facing sectors, including building materials, is where you will see demonetization-related impact being the most from an earnings perspective. I think the delta in earnings, however, will come more from PSU banks and metals. So net earnings growth on a YOY basis could still be a decent number. It might not be in teens like we were earlier thinking, but it could still be a single digit somewhere, still a growth number, because of the PSU bank base being very low and metals also recovering fine from last year's lows. So I think earnings will not be overall very bad. And the impact from demon would be transient again, to be repeated.
Okay, Gautam, stay on. Let's address some more stocks. Ashwini, one of your morning sell calls was on DVs, 755. The 52-week low, I think, was 743 post that news, of course. Do you reckon we are headed there?
See, chances are even lower. You have seen what happened to Wockhardt. Wockhardt used to be a 2,000 rupee stock. See, now, whatever has gone wrong, the management knows and the FDA knows. Unless either of them comes out and tells the market what is wrong and how it can be corrected, the stock will keep falling. Just keeping silent does not help. Then you shouldn't go public. So it will keep falling. I won't be surprised if you see 600 to 620 on this stock.
Okay, Mr. Sen, fundamentally, DVs having corrected 40-45% now?
Anuj, I don't see more weakness, because actually if you see last week when this issue got raised, at that time it was seen not such a serious issue. Today, again the report came that this is seen to be a very serious issue, but I think that stock is in having corrected, because with every new report coming in and giving a serious concerns on the issue, on the US FDA issue, that is making the stock to correct a bit. But I am not bearish on the stock from here as an investor point of view. I am not saying that I will advise buying in the stock now, because as such I have been keeping away from all the pharma stocks for last couple of months, but I don't see much weakness seen from here on. Maybe after certain time, maybe couple of days or a week, you may see good amount of short covering also, which can make the stock to move up by 5% as well.
All right. Well, there's some news on BGR Energy on the wire, so that's the reason the stock is spiking up. The company says that they have recently won 2 large value contracts for water treatment, valuing about 650 crores. One is for the Krishnapatnam project, and the other one is for the Chennai Metropolitan Water Supply project. So that's a 650 crore order that they have bagged, and the duration of the contract is 24 months. For construction and commissioning. So BGR Energy now up almost about 5.5%. Within this space, this water treatment, sewage treatment, a lot of the companies have been doing quite well. Some of these names like ITD Cementation who are in ancillary spaces. Anything that you like here?
I would go with a company called ITD Cementation, which you mentioned, and maybe a dark horse, completely dark horse, a company whose financials went down under and it's coming and putting its head out of water. And I think it could be a solid gamble if you believe that this company can go back to its heydays. There's a company in called A to Z, A to Z Infra, I think 4042. We are yet to work on this company as such, but on the whole, looking at the last 2 quarters, 3 quarters performance, the operating number seems to be improving. So at the present level, I think it would be a good gamble, because I agree with you, Sonia, fully that this is a space which, according to me, could attract a lot of attention over the next 12 months and could be an interesting theme to watch out for.
Okay. Your thoughts on the pharma space, Merbon? We just discussed divis, but anything else
I think consistently negative, and I think the problem in this space has been that this was a sector along with IT, and I'm not putting IT as of today in the same bracket, but pharma I still believe is a sector which I would like to stay away from. Most over-owned, people were saying the most defensive, but the regulatory problems which came, especially over the last 1.5 years, started with companies like Wockhardt and all. But I think they have been too severe, and I agree with Mr. Tulsian that he is also trying to stay away from pharma for the last 1 to 3 months, but I have been away for the last couple of years, and I still believe that till the time the grey clouds are still looming large, I think it's better to stay away, because every fall would look like an opportunity in quite a few things, and some of the stocks could turn out to be good opportunities for the longer term. But still, the picture is quite hazy, and I'm not going to go out and recommend anything right now.
Okay, well, BGR Energy is really spiking up now, almost 8% higher, and volumes are also piling up on that stock after it got that 650 crore order. Mr. Tulsian, just a quick comment on this. I remember you used to be bullish on this, a while back. I don't know your stance on it now, but on the back of this water treatment order, how would you be positioned?
Sonia, actually now for last maybe 1 year I have been keeping a neutral stance for 2 reasons. One, the demise of the CMD of the company, that is BGR. And secondly, if you see the balance sheet of the company, lot of stress because of their foray into the Rajasthan, on the contracts, on the power project contracts, lot of working capital has got stuck. So I think that maybe I'm not sure about this contract of 650 crore, that what kind of working capital will be required, but merely having merely order inflow will not serve the purpose if you are not able to manage your working capital properly. So maybe this kind of order may see the share moving up by 8 to 10%, but I will use that as an exit opportunity, those who are holding the stock.
All right, let's do one thing. We'll take a break on that note. Of course, once we come back, we'll get you a check on the mood across dealing rooms. Also, the BTSC trades. Welcome back. Well, the Bank Nifty is 17,882, so it's underperformed the market, the Nifty, quite a bit. The advance decline is still favoring advances, which is quite interesting. Gautam Sinha Roy is still with us. Gautam, housing finance companies and NBFCs, any stocks that you would want to take a punt right now in this space?
I think generally as a space from a near-term perspective, one has to be a little bit cautious there, because a lot of the financing which happened, and these are very different businesses though, but a bulk of the space that we're talking about where growth was high was either related to SME, lab book, all real estate related, and also related to what we call liquid income profiling, which is basically non-taxed income that they used to profile and lend on basis of that. Now, because of the twin impacts of demonetization and GST, this segment will not be as attractive, and on the other side, banks are also becoming increasingly competitive on the rate side. So twin impact there, and valuations have been crazily expensive before demon. Now they have corrected a bit. So I think we'll give it a breather and revisit it probably that space later on.
Okay, well, one space that has been roaring, Gautam, is the entire gas space. All these companies like Mahanagar Gas, IGL, etc. We were speaking with Mahanagar Gas the other day, and they did indicate that things are looking pretty good, especially as far as CNG volume growth is concerned. And that's one stock that you've been holding in your portfolio for long. I just wanted your view on the outlook for the sector as a whole as we head into 2017.
I think, the longevity of growth would be really high for these gas utilities, because gas is clearly the energy of the future. But the rate of growth in volumes might not be spectacular. So it would be, 8-10% or in early teens. In the near term, they are benefiting from a surge in EBITDA margins simply because, input prices, cost of gas for them is coming down. So that is already getting reflected in earnings growth this year. Earnings growth this year would be spectacular. For next year onwards, we shouldn't expect very high earnings growth from this sector, but definitely longevity of growth would be pretty high. Valuations were undiscovered, I would say, till 6 months back, and whatever we have seen in the last 6 months has been basically a PED rating or a valuation discovery, given the very good cash flow profiles of these companies.
All right, Gautam, thanks a lot for joining us and taking us through your market view. Well, 3:10 now, so good time to get you the BTST trades. Ashwin and Mitesh still with us.